Hi and good evening to Follow We Will Legends podcast, episode 5. This Thursday evening with myself, Lynsey, Glen and Stan Gordon, featuring greatest ever Rangers legends as our special guests, Rangers supporters clubs and bars from all around the world. Sponsored by AVS Signs, from concept to completion, developing, manufacturing, installing quality signage throughout the UK with clients like Glasgow Rangers Football Club and Castore, just to name a few. You can visit their website at avsigns.com. We also have our amazing associate sponsors of the show. Check out their social media pages too. Spotlight Events, Ernock Builders, Country Carpets, Hepburn Electrics, Milncroft Constructions, First Class Memorabilia, Pollock Projects, The Gallant Pioneer Blackpool, Off to the Match I Go, and Staunch Threads. Remember, if you're on YouTube, give us a like and subscribe to our show. If you're on any of our social media platforms, remember to like, comment and share. Joining us this evening on the show, we have the one and only Keep Believing Rangers legend, Mr. Marvin Andrews, alongside us tonight. How are you doing, Marvin?
I'm very well. Thank you all for having me.
Lovely to have you here tonight. Also as well, we have another amazing competition. It's a Christmas prize giveaway for the best question for Marvin, courtesy of Staunch Threads, and the chance to win £40 to spend on their clothing range. This will make an excellent stocking filler or present, so get your questions in for Marvin tonight, and the winner will be announced later on in the show. How you doing, Stan?
I'm good. Good, Lynsey. Yeah, enjoyed the game last night, so I'm back into it tonight again with Marvin here. Good. Welcome to the show.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
Marvin, we'll start you off. 2004, you get the call to come to Glasgow Rangers. Yeah. How good was that?
It was very good feeling knowing that I get an opportunity to play for one of the biggest clubs in Scotland at that time, and obviously one of the biggest clubs in the world. So it was a great opportunity for me, because always when I first came to Scotland, I had a dream, to play for one of the old firms, and I get the opportunity to play for Rangers. I was so excited when I get that call.
And you won the Player of the Year your first year.
Yeah, I got the Player of the Year, for that first year, which was really good. The Players Player, Fernando Rickson won the Supporters Player that year. But, it was a fantastic season, as most people would know. The helicopter changed direction. So, it was well known for that.
So, Helicopter Sunday, last game of the season on the 22nd of May, 2005.
Yeah.
Keep Believing. How was it for you, Marvin?
It was, really fantastic. And what I tell people, what made Helicopter Sunday so special for me in particular is because I shouldn't have been playing. Mm-hmm. Prior to that, a couple of months before I did my ACL, where I should have been out and not playing any football whatsoever. But most people know me for my faith and my belief in God. I said that God will heal my knee. I returned back after 6 weeks, which was in the perfect timing where they just started off the split, where there was 5 games remaining before the season end. And so with me coming back from such a critical injury, because most people, if you don't know about your ACL, when you damage your ACL, the minimum you're out for is 1 year. Mm-hmm. And I came back after 6 weeks, which was, unbelievable. So I came back and played with that faith that I had and trust in God. And where we were, we played Celtic the first game of the split at Ibrox. We lost the game 2-1, where they were, I think they were 5 points clear with 4 games remain. And that's where, I said I had an interview with the TV after, and I said to them, the season is not over, keep believing. And, so that's where it all originated from. But what a fantastic day it was for me. And I'm sure it was for many Rangers fans, including yourselves.
It was a knee injury, wasn't it, that you had?
A knee injury,
yeah, a knee injury. And you refused to go for the operation so that you could actually play.
I can actually play because, what I tell people, it wasn't that I was against surgery. I wasn't against surgery. It's just that at that specific time, there were 2 main things on the line for me. For Rangers winning the league and helping my country qualify for the first ever World Cup. So those were the 2 things that were in front of me that I had to achieve. If I went and take a surgery, I wouldn't be part of those 2 things that took place eventually. So what I always say to people, that the risk that I take was a very high risk, because when you damage your ACL, is like you in a building without a foundation in it. So think how scary that can be. So that is what your ACL is. Your ACL is the foundation that holds your knee together, so that you wouldn't collapse going down the stairs or walking or standing. That is what holds up your knee together. So that is what I actually damaged. With faith in God, I came back after 6 weeks and played with such an injury like that.
Alec Ray said it was really because you had made T-shirts up with people leaving on them. Is there any truth in that?
Excuse me. Well, Alec, we always have a good laugh about it. Yes, I made some Keep It Leaving T-shirts, my minister and them made, but we never made the amount of money that Alec Ray always portrayed that we made.
I remember at helicopter, somebody, remember Fernando telling me, I don't know if you knew this or no, but he was a captain that day at Easter Road. And see, when they turned the helicopter to come back, when they went in the dressing room, they still had the green and white ribbons on the trophy. And he had to change it. And he kept them. I don't know, obviously, what's happened to them now. But before he passed away, God rest him, he told me that he kept them. He kept the green and white ribbons. A lot of people wouldn't know that is. How quick it was,
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and for you to even hear that bit of information shows you how quickly things turn around, how it changed. It was in a wink of an eye. Things changed where the helicopter was almost circling around Motherwell to land somewhere. And then before you know it, they need to head back up to Edinburgh. So it just shows the fascinating day it was for every Rangers fan.
I mean, you were involved in that match and obviously the season, but probably if you speak to Rangers fans, early generations, you've got 1972 Cup Winners' Cup, you've got 9 in a row, and I take it Helicopter Sunday must be up there along with all the rest of them.
Yeah, well, I'm
definitely.
Yeah, I'm not sure because even working at Ibrox last night, for the game, going to some of the hospitality suites, speaking to some people as well, and the beauty, as I said to many people about Helicopter Sunday, everybody has their own story to tell of where were you at Helicopter Sunday. I'm sure every Rangers fan can tell you where they were, what they were doing, what happened.
I know exactly where I was.
So that's what makes Helicopter Sunday so special and so beautiful, because every fan has their own story to tell about that.
I know where I was myself. I was going back to the Loyal Rigs the next day, and I was nursing a pint because I didn't want to have a drink waking up to Aberdeen that night. And then the helicopter changed, and I never went.
I remember being in the local social club, and I remember I had the car with me, and I remember my nerves were shattered and I was shaking and everything, and I don't drink vodka, and I just had to go to the bar and get a vodka because I couldn't even watch. I was like just so nerved up. My nerves were shattered, and what a day, what an absolute brilliant day.
You come back to Ibrox, it must have been brilliant. The fans were all there.
Yeah, it was really good. Obviously, I didn't came back with the team to Ibrox on the bus, because I had a church service that night, so I went to church with my minister, and I always tell people the story is where people recognize me in the car on Easter Road, because my minister was driving through all the fans, the blue sea of Rangers fans on Easter Road, and the people recognized me in the car. I was like, yeah, there's Big Marv, keep believing. And I'm telling you, all the Rangers fans start trying to lift my minister car up physically. So they were actually doing the bouncy with my minister car. My minister is sitting in the car. He's watching me thinking, what God I'm going to do here now, Marv? And it was one of the most fun. As I said to people, like if you watch those rap videos where those cars are on hydraulics, my minister car is just doing the bouncy up and down. And then later on, people will say, Marv, we believe. So they start lying down in the middle of the road and they tell my minister, run over us, we believe. So I have to come through the sunroof of my minister car to tell them, no, if this car run over you, you will die, no matter if you believe or not. So, but I had to just, part the blue sea of Rangers fans. But what a day on Easter Road it was, man. Unbelievable.
Fantastic. 102 caps. I thought it was 99. 102. And how good was that to get 102 caps for your country? Yeah.
It's just an amazing feeling, because I always remember when I first made my debut, at 19 years of age, for Trinidad and Tobago, never knowing I would go on, to make 100 cap for my country, and that was, part of my dream. But ultimate dream was to help my country qualify for the first ever World Cup. So,
and did you qualify?
We qualified, yes, in that same year of 2005, on I think it was the 16th of November 2005, we qualified for the World Cup. So it was just a couple months after Helicopter Sunday.
Oh,
So
brilliant, brilliant. And
amazing.
I remember sitting in Hong Kong with you, and Ian Durant says to him, Marvin, how many caps did you get for your country? And he says, 102. And me Durant says, no one. So Trinidad and Tobago. He said, I could have just jumped in a jet ski and went to the Bahamas and played them myself and get 12 caps.
What a guy. So funny, man. Brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. That was actually quite funny, Stan.
No, it was good. That was true, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Marvin, is it true, well, we all know it's true, that you bless marriages?
Well, right. What to let people know is that I officiate weddings.
Yeah.
I do marriage renewals as well. You understand? So I can do a marriage renewal, and I can actually do an official wedding of wedding ceremony. So I have the I wouldn't say the qualifications for it, but I'm an ordained minister in my church, so I'm able to do weddings, funerals, child blessings, and all these different type of stuff like that. Yeah,
fantastic.
And have you done any mad ones?
I haven't done any mad ones yet, but I've done a few so far.
Yeah,
where, you have one side of is Rangers family. The other side is Celtic family.
Well.
So I can imagine. I've done a few weddings where the husband is either Rangers or Celtic, and the wife is vice versa. But as I say, you get good banter as well, between it as well, and it's a good atmosphere, and everybody respect one another, and they have a good laugh. So I enjoyed it. So far, so good.
Have you done any Ibrox?
I've done one at Ibrox so far. Yeah, in the Blue Room. I did one in the Blue Room. Yeah.
Was that the one you uploaded on your page the other week?
Yes.
And the bride, she was beautiful, and she was kicking her leg out. It was an absolutely stunning picture.
Both of them are massive Rangers fans as well. They're big Rangers fans.
And but players wise, but you played alongside. I know you had Barry Ferguson there, Bob Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
What players impressed you at that time in the team?
In my era, obviously, you talk that you can't, speak about a player without talking about Fernando. Obviously, I watched him play for Rangers many years. He was a right back, but for some reason, that season, Alec McLeish pushed him into midfield, and I think he was the top goal scorer for us at that thing. He was scoring free kicks. It was just unbelievable, at that time. Obviously, Barry Ferguson came back up. Big Dado Perso was just out of the soul, just really well. He and Nacho was, great combination they had together. Thomas Buffel was really good, really good player as well. We had Maurice Ross, who played. Bob Malcolm. Boom Song was there for a while. Before he went down to Newcastle. Then Big Kariakos came in, which was very, very. He was unbelievable, really good. Obviously, he went on to Liverpool, I think, after Rangers. Then you had Big Waterus, the goalkeeper. In the goal. As I say, people talk about goalkeepers with their feet now. He's one of the first I've seen, the best kicker of the ball, both feet. It's the best I've played with when it comes to, technically good with the ball at his feet. So
I know Alec McLeish he quoted that Bob Malcolm was one of the best passers of the ball in the Rangers team. And a lot of people didn't. Big Bob never get the credit.
No, he never really get the credit or thing. Obviously, he was a big boy, so a lot of people used to judge him because of the size that he was. But his technique of passing, his passing ability was second to none. Really, really good. You had we Alec Ray in the middle as well. Who was just he hard, but he can play the game at the same time. Scored some really good goals. So I think at that time, we had a good team, a good, camaraderie together. Everybody was, pulling in the same way, and it was really, really good. Yeah.
I'm just going to change the subject a wee bit, Marvin. I noticed through the week or last week you were presenting the young Sons of Struth Football Academy Awards ceremony, and you were alongside Andy Gorham, Craig Houston, and Gordon Smith, and you were helping to inspire the next generation and awarding, giving out the awards. How was that for you? How was that good? Was that a good feeling?
It's a fantastic feeling. It just shows you that this Sons of Struth part of Rangers, and the next top Rangers player can be one of these kids anytime. And it's so good to see that the club is expanding in that way and trying to the younger ones who are coming through, who are aspiring to be a top Barry Ferguson or Marvin Andrews or top legends at the Rangers Football Club. So it's always a good thing to go and show this support, because we're living in a time where a lot of young people are being led astray through social media in different ways. We have mental health issues and people at very, very young age going through all these different things. So it's always good to show that support to these young ones, to show them that we are here to give you all that support, that you all can become like one of us or even greater than us one day, by showing that support.
And discipline as well. It must teach the discipline, and obviously getting them off their phones and stuff. It's fitness, everything for mental health just now. Do you know what I mean? With COVID.
It's a bit of everything. It's not just one major thing. It's a bit of everything in life. And I think the new generation is much different to when I grew up, or you Stan or probably yourself. There's no such thing as phones. You need to play, you go outside.
Yeah.
You understand? You need anything, you go to the park, or let's go to the park, or let's go somewhere. But with the modern society now, they have everything within their reach. They stay home and they play FIFA or on the phone. They just sit in a corner for hours.
Yeah.
Just things. So that alone in itself, mentally, can affect you, because you're just looking at a screen 24/7. You even get people who work in offices and computers every day. They and all tell you how stressful that can be. So far.
It was good when I seen some of the pictures of the young boys actually going up onto the big massive stage, and that must have been so overwhelming for such young people. And they probably felt so special. And it was probably really encouraging for them.
It was absolutely fantastic. I give great credit to Craig Houston, who helps arrange Sons of Struth at this present time. The way he presented it, put it at the SEC. So what he's doing, he's training these young kids from a very young age that these are the stages you will be attending as you get old and you'll be successful in football. These are the ceremonies. You can be a Player of the Year award at Rangers, or even the SPFL, or whatever the case may be. These are the stages you'll be going on to if you're successful.
That's no easy. I went and I watched wee Charlie Miller at his training a few times, and you need some patience for the young ones. And I don't know how he does it, honestly. I went and watched a couple of times there, and I took my grandson along, and honestly, put the ball down, John. John, stay out here, and he's. And I just couldn't do it. It's a hard thing.
Yeah, it's difficult, because you need to try, just as Lynsey just said, is to getting that discipline in them, knowing them to tell them, when to do something, when not to do something in that way. But most of the time, I always, say to young kids, if I go to a school or speaking to a school, I always tell them that, it all starts with obeying your parents, because I always say to them, if you don't listen to your parents, you're not going to listen to a stranger. You understand?
Oh, that's true.
So that's how it all works out. And as I said, as you get older and you go into life, you don't listen to your boss, you don't listen to your manager, you will not play, or you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
And that's how it all escalate as you go along in life. So I always try to tell them that it all starts at home. Your mom tell you clean your bathroom or make up your bed. These are simple commands. It's to help train you for when you go out into
all the young ones on here are listening now, Marvin.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Remember, guys, there is a competition for a Christmas prize giveaway from Staunch Threads. The best question for Marvin, so get your questions in. It is courtesy of Staunch Threads, and you will get the chance to spend up to £40 on their page. So I'm just, in case there's anybody new joined the show, just like after the introduction, there is £40 up for grabs. So get your questions in for Marvin and he will pick the winner.
Okay, we're going to go to a couple of mentions for a few things that's coming up for the next wee while, Marvin. Big Tam for Craig in. I don't know if you've been in Big Tam. He's in hospice. See where I sit in the Thornton Suite. He sits behind me. He's got a speakers night on the 14th of January. There's tickets available for that if anybody's going along. Tomorrow night it's myself and Mark Haley and Mrs. D's in Lanark. Contact Denise for tickets. There's still tickets for that. That's Fiona,
yeah, I did. I was there a couple.
How was it? Was it good?
Really good
Yeah,
atmosphere.
I'm looking forward to it.
Lovely wee pub, man.
Yeah, I think it's they're turning into a Rangers pub now. She's saying so. Miss Laura Rangers fans in it.
It's good to be nice atmosphere. Yeah.
And the Loudon Tavern in Duke Street, they've got new owners now, and they've got a speakers night with big DJ Alec McDonald, myself. The early part of next year, I think it's February. And I'll be mentioning it to Andy Reid for the White Insurance Halls. I don't know if I fudged you in there, Marvin. Did I? I did, yeah.
Yeah, ventured on
and
there.
it does
4th of March. 4th of March, Friday. I think it's the 4th of March. If I'm not me on Charlie.
Yes, you and Charlie. Aye, and he does great work for the East Belfast Som Association. He raises a lot of money for that. So he's doing great. So that's kind of things that are coming up at the moment, Lindsay.
And I'm looking forward to seeing the Davy Weir Ranger Supporters Club as well in the Drumgello Bar on Saturday. So I'll get to catch up with Sammy Monteith and that again for a wee hour before they leave to go to the game as well. So that's quite good. I've got that coming up.
Aye. And then we've got the Rainway one.
Yep.
In my pub.
Your Christmas.
Marvin's coming along. You're coming along. And maybe Lindsay's going to give us a few numbers. So maybe get yourself up. Give us a wee number, Marvin. I hear you doing a wee bit of singing yourself.
Sing some right there.
But no, it's always a good wee day, isn't it?
Yeah. It's always good. And they said, look for the Christmas period as well. As I said, getting people together and having a wee festive period, because obviously last year you couldn't really do anything as well. So
what about Benidorm, Stan? I meant to ask you how was it?
I went over there. Ricky went with us also. It was hard. We had a lot of meetings today and different things. Just in case Trish is listening. No, it was, but we met up with one of the boys there, Campbell, and the hotel we stayed in is where they're going to have the convention. Absolutely spot on, beautiful. Two big golf. I don't know if you play golf or no, Marlon, do you?
No.
Two big massive golf courses there. And we looked at two different venues for where they're going to have the dinner. One of them holds about 800. Other one's a bit smaller than two great venues. So we're going to have a meet and greet.
Yeah.
We went down and met Wilma at the Ibrox Bar and another guy in the Tartan. So they're going to come down and support the aim, and the buses will be running back and forward for where the venue. So it's looking good. Benidorm's great. See, for a Rangers convention, it'll be great. Yeah. And then we've got the match. You've got yourself, Alec Ray, wee Charlie Miller, Nacho. Else we got Roy Carroll going to be playing. So we've got seven players are going to play in it. So I'm really looking.
You've got a wee golf day and that going to come up as well.
We've got the charity golf day for it. We should be good. Really good. We've done the one in Lanzarote. We've actually talked about it on the show a couple of weeks ago. We accidentally stood and got the wee guys.
Oh my gosh.
There was a wee question came up on the screen there, but it's disappeared. Oh, here we go. Right, there it's there. Marvin, this is from Alex Kelly. You come from a hot country with blue skies and beautiful beaches. WTF made you stay in Scotland, man?
Oh man, because my love for football, my love for football won, and I think the people, because I always said to people when I first came to Scotland, I was, welcome pretty well by two families. It's the first time when I came to Scotland I heard about the word B&B. So when I first came into Glasgow, I stayed in Motherwell and I stayed with a family. They treat me like their own and look after me really well. And I went up to play for Raith Rovers, stayed in a B&B for 5 years. Yeah, 5 years. The family didn't they didn't even want me to leave. They used to go away on holiday and leave me with the keys and everything. So I was look after. So also the warmness of the people who look after me. But apart from that, the weather, I can't say the weather, but football first and foremost. But as I said, a great deal to the people in Scotland. And I also stay in Kirkcaldy, which is always sunny sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, I've never seen it. But I see another one there. Marvin, who was the best player you have played alongside?
Best player?
John Purcell, that's this one.
Rangers or in general?
In general.
In general. In general, I would say my countryman, Russell Latapy. He's the most gifted footballer I've trained with and played with. I've never seen somebody with so much talent.
Does he still stay in Scotland, Russell?
No, he stays in Barbados at this moment in time. Yeah, he's the head coach of Barbados football team at the moment. So he's living a very good life at the moment. Yeah, but he's the most, as I said, gifted for the yes. I played with Dwight York, who was a phenomenal striker. Barry Ferguson, Big Dado Perso, Fernando Rickson. But when you talk about talent and most gifted footballer, be Russell Latapy for me.
See, just before I ask another wee question, just while we were talking about when the guy had asked about why he stayed in Scotland, there's a young chap that I've got on my Facebook page, and he's desperate, absolutely desperate to get over here. He's a Rangers fanatic, and I actually don't know how I've got him on my Facebook, but I do. Joseph Boyack, have you heard of him? He's a young chap from, I'm just giving him a wee shout out here, from Ghana, and he plays and he uploads videos every single day, playing on the beach, like in sand, just he's Rangers daft. He's been sharing Rangers things with, honestly. And, I've just started watching this wee chap, and he'd messaged me and he was like, can you please share that I'm wanting to play football at a different level? And he actually he uploads and stuff, but it's quite good to watch. So I don't know if you maybe want to give him a wee follow or something on your Twitter or your Instagram or something like that, and give him a wee shout out. So that's Joseph Boyack.
Yeah. My advice to him is that let him, wherever country he's staying at the moment, let him try his best to try and start playing where he is at the moment.
I think it's Ghana.
Because if Ghana will have a football league.
Yeah.
If even if Ghana, you find a team and start playing, because it will be very difficult for a manager just to see you, doing few skills by yourself and than actually watching you in a game situation. So my advice to him is that go and play with the best league possible that you can in Ghana. And then obviously there will be scouts or whatever. And then from there you can take, because it's like me, I started off in Trinidad and Tobago playing with, part-time football, where I was working part-time and playing part-time. But if I wasn't doing that, I probably wouldn't get the opportunity to come to Scotland. So my advice to him is try to find a club or your team in Ghana and play with them.
Well, there you go, Joseph. That's advice from Big Marvin there. I don't know if you watch the show, but I'll tag you in it a wee bit later on. But there you've had a wee shout out and mention on our podcast this evening, and I hope that helps you to get a wee bit of promotion as well.
Got another one there, Marvin. It's William Roger, and it's who's the best manager you have played for and why?
Best manager I've played for, well, Alec McLeish will be up there as well. But I'll go for my national team manager, Mr. Leo Ben Hacker. The reason why I say that is because Leo Ben Hacker, originally is from the Netherlands. He came to Trinidad and Tobago, where he can meet one of the most set of laid-back people you have ever met in his life. And I always remember we played the United States. I think we lost 3-0 or 4-0. And he see a group of players after losing 4-0 come around a dinner table and laugh and have fun like nothing never happened. And he was like, what's going on here? And for some reason, within that time, he was able to adapt to our culture and use it to help us to become the team that we end up qualifying for the World Cup in that same time. So I would say, Leo Ben Hacker, he's been...
How did you do in the World Cup?
We didn't. Well, we get 1 point. We draw against Sweden in the first game.
Oh, that's not bad.
And we get beat by England 2-0. I think we hold England until 80-something minutes. I think Big Crouchy scored the first goal, and then Stevie Gerrard scored an absolute cracker to make it 2-0. And then we played Paraguay in the last the last game, I think we lost 4-1 or something like that. But the main point for Trinidad and Tobago, as I said, the only team that beat us for the smallest country at the moment is Iceland, because they qualified a couple of years ago. But we are still considered one of the smallest islands ever, played in a major tournament.
Some achievement.
What an achievement. So just being there, people knowing our carnival culture and stuff in Germany 2006. So everybody know about Trinidad and Tobago now, the small wee island from the Caribbean.
My father-in-law's posted as well, William Glen. So you know my father-in-law. So he said I have to tell you that Big Gary is asking for you and he loves you.
Okay.
There you go, Billy. That's you. You've got to be mentioned in the show.
There's another one there, Stevie Payton. Hi, Marvin. I remember you doing a duet at Sutton a couple of years ago at the Legends weekend. Do you know all the words? Charlie was alcohol fueled. I was actually standing next to you when you done that night. Actually, did you ever see that one?
No. How's that?
Marvin and Charlie had a wee duet singing when we played Chelsea. The Legends.
No, I've not seen
and,
that.
it went viral, didn't it?
A rendition of Don't Worry About a Thing. So I was thinking we just did it for a wee laugh, because his brother who will be uploaded. It absolutely went viral. So I think it made the papers, where I think the headline was Marvin Andrews and Charlie Miller has murdered Bob Marley classic. But it went absolutely viral. What a laugh it was. Yeah.
He's some man, isn't he?
Oh, what a guy. Charlie, class guy.
He's brilliant.
Really lovely guy. Yeah.
I just, the two of yous are like chalk and cheese to with your everything that he's doing. And he just, a spade's a spade with him, and he just, he's a
great guy.
I mean? He's
a lovely guy, man. What a lovely human being. And as I say, what a talented footballer. In the little legend games that I played with him, I really see what he was, and I had a few chats with him and stuff like that of when he was younger and what what he was capable of achieving in his career. But a lovely human being and just a funny guy.
Ian Durant said he was the best player he ever seen at 15 and the worst at 17.
Who has been a person like guy?
Charlie.
Even still, when we did the Legends games, he's brilliant.
Oh, you, that's what I'm saying. You still see the glimpse of, he can still play, and just a talented, gifted footballer from the famous sweet tongue away, Castle Milk legend.
The boys in the pub will say to me, "Listen, he saved your job. We played, I think it was down in Portchester, and you ran for the ball and you took your hamstring and you ran right off the park, and the guy went up the park and scored." And the goalie, being the goalie, decided he was going to go to the bar. His leg was sore, and he went to the bar. And Charlie went in goals, and they had about 5 so he saved my job.
Yeah, he was.
Really?
I just came back from Hong Kong that week as well.
That's
and
right.
I was trying to pull my cord. I remember.
Who is the best player that you have ever played with, Marvin?
Ever played with?
Yourself personally.
Personally, I would say we Russell Latapi, but at Rangers, Big Dado Perso.
Right, okay.
I just think he was just out of this world. It was sad to see the way that his career ended, because obviously he had a knee problem as well. And he had an issue where he had to inject oil into his knee to keep the lubrication in his knee. Yeah. So I think doctors told him, I think he had 5 or 6 years alone to play. So I think after I left in 2006, I think he left either in 2008 or 9 or whatever. But Big Dado Percy was just a class striker. And as I say, he and Natural, had a great partnership that season for us. Scored a lot of goals for us. Yeah.
I've got another couple here. We've got Greg Morrison. I think that's for myself. Tell your dad we missed him at Ibrox last night.
Well, you just talked about that to me earlier.
Yeah. He's going to be coming on Saturday.
He's not been keeping too well, Stan, hasn't he?
So he's going to make an appearance on Saturday.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
A wee shout out there for Jimmy Blue. Good evening, folks from Stranraer. Hope you're well, Jimmy and Shaz Reid.
Oh, Jimmy, yeah.
We're doing well, guys. Jimmy and Shaz.
And then we've got Suzanne there.
She's asking the same kind of question we've been asked about Scotland. Yep. You seem to love it here, and the work that you do outside football for Scottish communities has to be commended. So I'll just read it out exactly what she says. What kept you in Scotland, which you've answered already, but you seem to love it here, and the work you do outside football for Scottish communities has to be commended. So that's like out with you playing.
Yeah, well, I always say to people that, God brought me to Scotland for a reason. Yes, football maybe was the vehicle that get me here, but I think there are other stuff to me that God has planned for me in Scotland. Why? That's why I'm still here as well.
Yeah.
You know, to be a blessing to others, to help others, encourage others, and you know, where we are living in a time where the world is full of negativity.
Yeah.
It's just full of it from, you know, different areas. So as I said, God has me still in Scotland at this time, still enjoying my life here. But it's not only just to be here only, but to be a blessing to other people in communities, either in schools or, you know, after speaking dinners, or even through this podcast, whoever is listening, it might, you know, encourage somebody, you know, to go on and fulfill their dream and become the person that God created them to be.
I mean, a lot of people maybe that's watching the show tonight will know that you're at Ibrox every home game. You get around all the suites and talk to everybody in the hospitality areas, and you must get a lot of satisfaction out of that. Like, I know you enjoy it.
Yeah, it's true. It's just great satisfaction, because I tell a lot of people that, you know, many people just saw Marvin Andrews on TV for many years. You know, like most people, I take photos now, they're like, "Oh, Marvin, you look bigger on TV." You know, I thought you were taller and all this sort of stuff, because they just saw me on TV, and to meet me in person now, you know, it shows, you know, that I can, you know, bring a lot of satisfaction to people, make people happy, make people laugh, and you know, obviously with my sing song Fridays and stuff, you know, it all makes people happy, and you know, that is what I'm about. You know, it's about trying to make somebody else happy and make people smile, because as I said, we're living in a really sad time, a lot of, you know, negativity happening in the world, a lot of, you know, bad things are happening. So it's always try my best, you know, to be that shining light in dark places and in the dark moments of somebody's life. Yeah.
Excellent. Brilliant. So Jeff Holmes is asking, what was the highlight of your international career, Marv?
My country qualifying for the first ever World Cup in the 16th of November 2005. It was a dream I had since I was 13 years of age. I always remember, you know, a young boy in Trinidad and Tobago growing up. There was November the 19th, 1989. Trinidad and Tobago needed 1 point to qualify for the Italian 1990 World Cup. We played United States at home and we lose 1-0. The guy scored a goal from almost halfway line, and our goalkeeper said, I think the sun was in his eyes or something like that. So, but that day, the country just went on a downward spiral because it was so close. We just needed a draw, and we ended up losing the game at home, you know, to qualify for the first ever World Cup, you know, in 1990. And then from that day, I said to myself, you know, it will be my dream to be part of the team that will help my country qualify for the first ever World Cup. I think, you know, after that, I think it took me 17 years after that to fulfill that dream of, you know, being part of the team to help my country qualify for the first ever World Cup. So that would be my greatest achievement, and till the day I die, because it was a dream that I always wanted. And it's just
marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. Marvellous.
I agree.
Willie Black is asking, how would you compare today? So I'm assuming he's meaning like from when you played to like what the team's like now.
Football is much different. I think it is becoming more of a non-contact sport. You know, it's coming because you watch football now, every little touch a player gets, he rolls in the floor, is a free kick. You know, the penalties are very soft now. You know, the slightest touch in the box.
Marvin, you must be watching too much Celtic game.
Excellent.
You know, so it's much different to when I play, and I think, you know, if Stan would tell you, even in the era that where he watched Rangers play, how the pitches were, some of the tackling, and it was part of it. Because when I first came to Scotland, you make a hard, strong challenge, the fans love that. You do that today, you get a yellow card.
You get yellow.
You understand? So I think the game is changing more and more. The players are being protected more and more, and I think is not good for the game at the present time, because football is originally a contact sport.
Yeah,
understand? So I think it is gradually becoming more and more easier, where I think a time will come where you wouldn't be able even to tackle somebody properly anymore.
I was listening to the radio last week, and when I think they had referees on the radio, and they were saying that they're all for VAR. You know, what do you think of that? Would you be happy to, like, what would you think bringing that to Scotland? Do you think it's a good thing?
It's a good thing to the point where because the referees and them in some position they can't see. The linesman, sometimes he may get it wrong. He may fall asleep. The guy might be offside, and the VAR will clean things up. But the downside of VAR is that when you score a goal, you need to have like your celebration need to be on hold a bit, because you might celebrate, take your shirt off, run to the stand, and then you come up, your big toe is offside, or you're off by your elbow or something like that, and then so that is the other side of it. But to help the game, for honesty, and because referees are human beings, they will make mistakes. You understand? They will miss something out of the blue. They'll miss, an offside or a free kick or something. It's bad. So on that side, I think it should be. But when it comes to goals, it actually, takes away a bit of the enjoyment with it. But I'm for it, because it's just how the modern football is going. So it's just that technology, side of the
Another
game.
one there, Lynsey.
Yeah, I see that. Tam Black's asking as well, Marvin, who was the toughest opposition player you've played against?
Toughest opposition player. I play a lot against a lot of tough oppositions.
Is there any that's just stood out?
The best player I played against will be Ronald de Boer. I was at Livingston and we played Rangers, and Ronald de Boer was at Rangers at that time. We were 3-0 down after 20 minutes. I was just chasing shadows, couldn't get close to him. He had Shota Avaladze as well. I think he scored a double or a hat-trick in that game.
Right.
But Ronald de Boer is the best striker I've ever played. I come up against a lot of tough, strikers, big John Hartson was, tough. I come up against a guy called, you had, big John Hartson, you had Sutton, stuff. Even, coming up against Henrik Larsson he was a very good striker, very clever. A lot of good strikers, I came up against in my time, So, but out of the best of all of them, Ronald de Boer was the best. I remember even Champions League coming up against Wee Martins, and against Adriano. He was a tough opponent as well. Because that time, as I said, in Champions League, Adriano and Wee Martins, they were the top strikers in Europe at that time. I come up against a guy called Jan Kola, who played with Czech Republic. When you talk about Andre the Giant, he was just that size. But he was good with his feet. Really technically good, big, strong. He's one of the biggest human beings I've ever played against football.
Alec Kelly there, and he's asking if you can think any funny stories with Fernando.
Funny stories with Fernando. I always remember that we had a jacuzzi back at Murray Park at that time. Obviously, because it changed so many names, but I know it as Murray Park. And I remember that everybody used to come in, and then you go into the jacuzzi, have a nice sit down. And there was a day that Fernando, I don't know, he went and get dishwashing powder or floor cleaner and throw it into the bubble bath, and it was all bubbling up, and it was fraught, and fraught was coming out all from the bathroom, and
way.
It was just bubbling and stuff. So that was for Fernando, because he was one of the guys you couldn't allow him behind you at any time. You always have to watch your coffee, watch your tea, because he's looking to throw black pepper or salt or
something like that as well.
Something like that. But what a terrific human being. But he could never stand still.
No,
always looking for some mischief, to do something.
I remember him telling us you'd have been with the club at the time, and he got a helicopter to Murray Park. He was going to be late for training, and he got a helicopter. And Alec McLeish was the manager, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And he looked out his window at Murray Park, and he seen the helicopter land. He jumped out with his boots.
Oh my God!
What a guy! Just tremendous.
I've got a wee shout out here to Sammy Preston, Millencroft Construction, one of our sponsors. Sammy is also in the Thornton Suite and at Ibrox alongside Stan, and he's a massive Rangers fan.
Yeah, I think Marvin knows Sammy.
I saw him last night.
A wee shout out to Sammy Preston.
And he's doing a wee bit of work for Rangers and now when they're building this museum and stuff like
Excellent.
that. his construction company, so he supports us and
Right.
sponsors us,
Good man, that's good.
which is good. But we'll finish off with last night. What did you think last night?
Fantastic performance. Was very controlled. I think obviously the fans get a bit agitated because we were just probing, just couldn't get that break in front of goal, and then as I said, just right before halftime to get the first goal and then come out second half, get the second one. But I think we in control of much of the game. Yes, few mistakes here and there because after 2-0, there's only one thing St. Johnson want to do is they have to try and attack all out, but they came with a plan to get a draw.
And we spoke about it before the show started there, Marvin, and they're not the team they were last season, St. Johnson.
No, there wasn't. Just completely different team. For some reason, the team spirit that they had last season of playing and being hard to beat and scoring the odd goals here and the thing, that has gone away from the team at the moment. But they're still a good team. I think they will come good eventually. They're in a very false position at the moment with the squad that they have, but it's still a long way to go. But we'll wait and see. But from Rangers' point of view, so good, really, really good. Giroud's coming, as I said, we look so steady going forward. Thing on the odd mistakes we make. Alan McGregor pull out a fantastic save. You've done it. The Hearts game. Last Sunday. Last night another clean sheet. So I think they're building up on these clean sheets, and I think if we can continue in that way, I think we have a very good chance to move on to 56.
But what do you think's the difference Van Bronckhorst has made? Because they seem to be revitalised.
Aye.
And it's the same players.
Yeah, same players, but what I think he has done, he has instilled the defenders to defend, the attackers to attack. Because when you watch it now, you're seeing Kent in a 1v1 position, crossing the ball, or you're seeing, Sakala or, Haji on the wings doing what a winger will normally do. I'd say most people who will know when, Davy Cooper play on the wing are out and out winger. So I think what he has done, he has nullified a little bit of our Barisic and the skipper doing all the crossing. And I think he has done, okay, you all defend as a back four. Yes, you contribute now and again, but I want my wingers to be doing most of what you all were doing before. So that's why we are harder to like teams will find it more difficult to counter-attack against us now.
And you've got Morelos there, and he started to score goals again.
Because he said it earlier when he first came, Morales has to be in the box. You don't want him too deep, because before he was coming too deep and trying to link up other than being the vocal point in the box.
That was some crossover to Kent, though, wasn't it? It was absolutely superb.
Great
so
football.
It was some cross.
Really, really good play.
Normally, I would have seen Morelos taking a shot for there. Not actually passing it, but you see him just quickly like glancing up, and then the next minute he just passes it over, which was brilliant teamwork.
And the team is looking really well. And as I say, the same players, but the manager just tweak a few things, and you have the team playing really well at the moment. Very impressive.
The Joe Aribo, I mean, geez,
so far, he's a player of the season already.
Yeah, midfielder,
midfielder, at this present time. So hope it long continues for him. I don't know what the scenario is going to be with the African Nations Cup that is coming up soon. I don't know if he's going to be representing Nigeria or what. So that could be, a little factor, but it depends. If it falls on I think we have a break after the Old Firm game on the 2nd. So if it falls into that, it could work out perfect for Rangers.
Craig Johnson's put up there, Jill Logan, a wee staunch threads making an appearance. So he's maybe like tagged Jill. That's Jill that deals with staunch threads.
All right.
So he's obviously, because I've maybe got the t-shirt on or something like that, or just a wee bit of promotion going on there.
I see another one there, and it's Alec Kelly, and he says, "Stan, breaking news."
Yep.
He says Celtic have just scored their 3rd goal at Dingwall.
John Patterson. Great to see Big Marvin Anthony Andrews on the show. Merry Christmas, Stan, Lynsey and Ricky. From everyone at the Gallant Pioneer, keep up the great work. So we must be doing something quite right then.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
I hope the odd day Weldon and the Pioneer, who's one of our sponsors and all, the boys. You've been doing it.
I've been down there a few times.
You're always made welcome.
Yeah, lovely place.
There was one other wee question there that came up from Fiona Thompson that I noticed as well, and she's put, what was the most memorable game that you have played in your career apart from Helicopter Sunday?
Most memorable game is at Parkhead. Always remember we went to Parkhead. Prior to that, Rangers haven't won there, I think it was for 5 years. Never won at Parkhead for 5 years in that time when we went there. I remember Alec McLeish tell us, we can go here and, change the whole script, because I think it was a mental thing with Rangers at that time, trying to overcome Celtic in Old Firm games. And we went there, and obviously Vignal scored the first goal to make it 1-0. And I think Nacho Novo scored the second one to make it 2-0, and we beat Celtic 2-0 at Parkhead. And that was a turning point for us. But myself and Big Carioca's that day were just unbelievable. We're just Big Hearts and Sutton. We just absolutely annihilate them that day. For me, that's one of the best performances I've played in a Rangers shirt, at Parkhead for that game. 2-0, it was unbelievable. What a performance.
What about, just when we're talking about the game and that there, obviously coming up to January, there's players going to move on, and there's going to be players coming in. What do you think, guys, on that?
Well, a lot of names are mentioned that are going to leave, but I'd like to think that the board will keep the biggest majority of the players will go there. We couldn't let too many go.
No, I think at this present time, Rangers is in a very good position with the players that they have. I think outside of Goldson, who contract is up at the end of the season. I don't know if he's resigning that. He's the only person.
Is Aribo not as well?
Right, but I think Aribo...
He's going to sign.
Is he? I think so.
Yeah, I think Aribo and, Kent or whatever. I think Kent, he's still under contract or whatever. But I think these players, Rangers can call good money for them. You understand? Because once you call it in January, you have to get money, other than they stay until their contract is out. So I think Rangers is in a very good position at the moment. The boys are enjoying Rangers at this present time. So I think Rangers is in a very good position. And what people need to remember as well, all the players that are at Rangers at this present time, none of them is Gianno Van Bronckhorst players. He still need to bring in his own players.
I know, but he's doing such a great job now with the
far,
ones he's got.
So that's what I'm saying to you. So, but
he's got a good platform.
Yeah, he has a good platform. But none of us don't know as fans the players he has
in mind.
Yeah,
might be So
if you were in Gio's position just now, where would you beef up the team if you had an opportunity to bring somebody in? Where do you think you would bring somebody in to see us through the season? Would they be defence, midfield?
You definitely need another centre half. Definitely, obviously, if you can get Cottage back from loan.
Do you like Cottage as a player?
Oh man, I think before he done his ACL, he was coming on to it, and he's a monster. A boy as well. Yeah. You understand?
And the big boy, Callum Bassey, I think's been.
Oh, he's been fantastic. So, but I think you're just bringing it because of the amount of games they will probably be playing, and very important games, tough games as well, where you probably just need to score from a free kick or a corner or something like that. So I think another centre half, even a striker as well.
Yeah,
even a striker. Yeah, because as I say, because when you look at it at this present time, he's using Fashion Sakala as a winger.
Yeah,
because of his pace. You understand?
Yeah,
he's using pace to burn. So he want him out on that wing, and as I say, you can get somebody can finish. Yes, Morales is doing a fantastic job, but you get somebody who's an accomplished finisher, or you're doing really well. But as I say, so far so good.
Because
at this moment,
Roof's not been very lucky with his injuries.
That's what I'm saying.
And Ryan Jack too. I love Ryan Jack as a player, and he makes some difference for us in the middle of the park there.
Yeah. But he's out. He's injured again, isn't he?
Yeah.
So we know what's.
And it's a worry, because that's every season we've had him. He gets to a peak where he's looking good, and then we lose him.
Yeah, I think is from an outsider, I think it looks very concerning. Because he is at this present time, he's not getting back full fitness whatsoever. Every time you hear him, he's getting there, bam, he
And
breaks
he's away,
down.
yeah.
And so it's a very concerning thing at the
Yes,
moment
it
for
has, isn't it?
most people.
It would be one of the first names in the team sheet for me.
100%. 100%.
I've got another one there, Alec. Marvin, you have embraced our club and culture. You epitomise everything that a Rangers player should be. Play hard and fair, but still represent our club in glowing terms. Thanks for the memories, Marvin. Once a Ranger, always a Ranger. Brilliant. And then you've got Jimmy Blue here. Excellent show tonight, folks. Merry Christmas to all from Jimmy and Shaz and all the Bearettes from the Royal Borough of Sinra. So excellent. I think we're kind of...
do you want to have a wee think about the questions that the guys have put in and see if there's anything that stood out to you, Marvin?
I think I'll go for the why am I still living in Scotland?
Why are you still living in Scotland? Who was the first person to put that?
I think the first person asked that.
It was Alex Kelly. Because of the blue skies and the beaches, and it was the WTF that made you. What made you stay in Scotland?
I think that's a very, very good question, because you see what a lot of people don't understand. That is one of the big challenges of coming from a foreign country, like from the Caribbean to a place where it gets to -2 and -1. And I had a lot of very taunting experiences with the weather. And I can say this now just before we close, that one of my first games when I was at Red Rovers, one of my first trial games was away to Dundee United. And I remember we came out to check the pitch to make sure the pitch is well. And I came out, I realized that the grass is white. I'm thinking to myself, why is the grass white? So I'm asking all the guys, did somebody spray something in the grass? They was like, no, Marv, that is ice. I was like, really? So the game is off? They was like, no, game is still playing. And I tell you, one of my worst performances ever. Billy Dodds was playing for Dundee United at that time. I think he scored a double or something. We lose 4-0. I was just standing on the pitch. Clubs, I just couldn't move. I couldn't believe.
That would have been an experience.
And the boys and them are running about in shorts and t-shirts, no problem. And that was in September. And then 1997 September. I could never forget that. But that just shows you.
Well, Alex Kelly's put yes with loads of crying faces. So Merry Christmas to Alex. He's won £40 to spend on Staunch Threads. So we'll get the code over to you for their website, and you'll be able to go on and spend up to £40 on courtesy of Staunch Threads. So that's a fantastic prize giveaway.
James Campbell there was one a strong off here.
Oh, I know. I was going to just say before we go, we can't not have a wee song for you. Come on, Marvin.
What song are we going to sing? It's Christmas.
What are you going to sing?
You don't need help.
No, I don't help. I get too shy.
Snow is falling all around me. Children playing, having fun. It's the season. Love and understanding. Merry Christmas, everyone. God bless you all. Have a fantastic Christmas, everybody.
Brilliant.
God bless you all.
And I will just sing the first verse of the one that my husband sang. It was absolutely hilarious the other night, and he was singing, jingle bells, jingle all the way. We've got Brian Loudrop and you've got Paul McStay. And I was absolutely buckled, so that was brilliant. But we were getting the festive spirit and changing some words about there. I think Rangers used to actually sing that years ago. I think that was a song that they sang at Christmas time.
Well, the line, when I remember, it was something like Beat the Huns in New Year's Day or Tim's New Year's Day, whatever. They used to sing to us, so...
Well, congratulations to our winner. Again, if you'd like to see more giveaways, folks, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like, share and comment across all our social media platforms, because as usual, the more interaction we get, the more people we can get on board with our show and get more prize giveaways for everyone coming on. And it's good promotion for all our bars, Rangers supporters clubs, and of course our legends as well, who do travel all around the country doing sportsmen's dinners and different things. So it's good to promote and give them a mention as well. Right, so I think we'll just do my wee ending, my usual wee formalities. Thanks, Ricky, for everything sitting in the background there. Once again, it's been a pleasure having Marvin on the show.
Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much. We look forward to seeing you all again to tune in after the new year. We're going to try for Wednesday, the 5th of January, with more amazing surprise guests hopefully joining us. And as usual, details will be posted near the time. Once again, Marvin, thanks very much. It's been fantastic speaking with you, hearing about your stories, and obviously entertaining our viewers. Thank you so much. If you've enjoyed the show, get involved, subscribe, like our Facebook and Instagram, follow We Will Legends Podcast. And on behalf of myself, Stan and Marvin here at Follow We Will, we do wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year when it comes.